the first away win for Aweruru. It's about the first win of the season because he has not even won at home. If I'm
First
not
win
wrong.
of the season, yeah.
First win of the season altogether. So we are hoping that it's going to be it's going to be an uphill task. Starting from the first win of the season in Port Harcourt. Traveling to Port Harcourt is very tiring already.
Yeah.
I've just I think I've been there recently. I know how it looks like going all the way to Port Harcourt. Very, very far distance and the roads, you understand, it's not encouraging. Arsenal won this afternoon. I am sure someone is very happy in the studio right now. But as a Nigeria, I'm not too happy because our World Cup dream is all but gone, except if miracle happens. Like that type of miracle that happened to Cote d'Ivoire in the last Cup of Nations when they already sacked their coach, they already lost hope, but just for that miracle to
and
happen.
And even in the final, Nigeria took the lead.
So I pray that kind of miracle happens to our football lives, most especially the Super Eagles of Nigeria, for them to at least get the playoff slot to get the qualification ticket. It's pretty difficult at the moment. Good afternoon, our listener. This is Coach Ibrahim.
All right, thank you so much, Coach Musa Ibrahim. Martin Zubimendi got 2 goals, and Arsenal a 3-0 victory over Nottingham Forest and the line. Damilola, how do you do?
Yeah, good to be back after like a week out, and happy to meet you guys again and to talk sports like we usually do. Yeah, like you rightly said, the weekend of football, let me say, started early today in England, and Arsenal were 3-0 victors against Forest. And one thing that surprised me so far is Real Madrid will be in action in the next 8 minutes. And yet again, Trent is on
not
the
in the
bench.
lineup.
So, I mean, we have to talk about that move to Real Madrid, and so far it has not been so good.
Okay. Well, maybe not. But usually I always think that I know there were this argument as to whether or not Trent would be a backup for Dani Carvajal if he does move to Real Madrid. But at the time, there were those who believed that a quality player like Trent Alexander-Arnold will not move from Liverpool, where he was a superstar, move elsewhere, only to think that he will not be a starter in that team. So there were those who believed at the time that it was never going to happen for him to be a backup to Carvajal. But now, he hasn't started so many games, and like you say, we're going to be having some conversations around that. But in the meantime, gentlemen, let's start the show. Yesterday, league matches returned for some big leagues in Europe, and we saw how these things went. In La Liga, Sevilla and HA shared the spoils 2-2. In Germany, Bayer Leverkusen beat Eintracht Frankfurt 3-1. Grimaldo, the Spaniard left back, got 2 goals. And come to think of it, Bayer Leverkusen were red carded 2 times in that game. Robert Andrich and Ezekiel Fernandes got 2 red cards. But hey, they still got the job done. 3-1. Grimaldo 2 times, and Patrick Schick got the 3rd goal. Marseille beat Lorient 4-0, and I mean, you just see some of these results coming very, very fast. In the Premier League today, lunchtime kickoff, Arsenal beat Nottingham Forest 3-0. Victor Gyökeres on the score sheet, just like we also had Martin Zubimendi getting 2 goals in that particular one. AFC Bournemouth, Brighton are still trading tackles. It's just 8 minutes into the game. Crystal Palace are Selhurst Park against Sunderland, still goalless. Everton, Aston Villa goalless. Fulham at Craven Cottage against Leeds United goalless. Newcastle United also trading tackles with Wolves at St James's Park, still goalless as well. And by 5:30, West Ham United will host Tottenham Hotspur in London. Brentford will be playing Chelsea, another London derby there by 8 p.m. And Spain, Getafe already 2-0 winners over Real Oviedo. By 3:15, less than 10 minutes from now, Real Sociedad will be up against Real Madrid. Athletic Club by 5:30 will be hosting Deportivo Alaves, and Atletico Madrid will be facing Villarreal by 8 p.m. Almost the end of the first 45 minutes in Germany across 5 different grounds where FC Heidenheim are trailing Borussia Dortmund by a lone goal. Freiburg also trailing VfB Stuttgart by a lone goal. Mainz 05 and RB Leipzig are still trading tackles, but none has been able to score a goal in this game. Union Berlin also facing Hoffenheim is still goalless. Wolfsburg are currently trailing FC Cologne by a lone goal, while Bayern Munich by 5:30 will be hosting Hamburger FC. In Italy, the game is ongoing as the second 45-minute Cagliari leading by a goal to nothing against Parma. Juventus will play Inter, one of the biggest games for this weekend, by 5 p.m. and Fiorentina will be facing Napoli by 7:45 p.m. In the French Ligue 1, Nice will face Nantes definitely by 4 p.m. and Auxerre will be facing AS Monaco by 5 minutes past 8 tonight. So be rest assured that we're going to be bringing you updates from these various grounds on the show, even as we continue to monitor proceedings. But gentlemen, this is how we're going to start the show. It's 10 minutes gone past the hour of 3 already. And for us, Coach mentioned something the other time. He did talk about how unhappy he was that Nigeria's hopes of making it to the 2026 World Cup are now hanging by a thread. What does that really mean? How important persons, I mean, the people who we believe have played the game, people who have the experience, they've been on that level before, they've been there, they've played for Nigeria, witnessed football at the very, very peak of it. How are they feeling too? Now, this is former Super Eagles captain Mikel Obi saying that a drastic change, such as sacking the board of the Nigeria Football Federation, needs to happen if the Super Eagles fail to qualify for the 2026 World Cup. Though the Eagles still have an unlikely chance of making it, but their destiny is no longer in their own hands. And Mikel believes the Ibrahim Gusau-led board has to go if the disappointment of missing the 2022 World Cup in Qatar repeats itself. I'll be right back.
Nigeria. Now I feel for the people of my country. I feel for people in Nigeria because they're going to be devastated right now again for the second time running. We're not going to qualify for the World Cup.
Does anything change if you don't?
Oh, man, it has to.
Yeah.
It has to. If we don't make it to the World Cup, if we don't qualify, I just think the whole board of the NFF, they need to go. They need to go. Sorry, they have to go. If we don't qualify for the World Cup, the whole board of the NFF.
Do you get?
I'm saying it right now.
Do you get your CV in there?
I'm saying it right now because it's not acceptable.
No.
Twice in a row, we're not going to qualify for the World Cup. We are the biggest footballing country in Africa. The biggest. I don't care what anybody says. Mo Salah, Egypt, or whatever. I don't care. Nigeria is the biggest. When it comes to African football, when it comes to Africa, we're the biggest. I don't care what anyone says.
Mo.
So, twice in a row, we don't qualify. Something is wrong. Yeah. Something is wrong. A drastic change has to be done. Has to be done. The government, if the government want to get involved, they have to get involved. They have to get involved. They have to get involved because it's not acceptable. If we don't qualify second time in a row, it's not acceptable. Yes, the players have to take responsibility, but the biggest problem is from the top. From the top. When I am very emotional about stuff, it's because I love, when I talk about Chelsea, same way. When I talk about my Nigerian team, same. It is from the top. It's from the top, 100% from the top. You have to make those players motivated. Find a conducive way. When they come back home to play for Nigeria, they have to feel comfortable. And right now, nobody's making that comfortable for them. And that's why we're in a second time in a row, Nigeria. Unbelievable.
Still, the dream's not dead and buried.
It's not dead yet. So we have to still support the players. We have to get there.
Well, Mikel Obi there sharing his thoughts concerning how it's been very difficult to get the Super Eagles into the next edition of the World Cup. But the Eagles are on the brink of missing back-to-back FIFA World Cup tournament after that poor run in the qualifying games recently, winning just 2 out of 8 matches so far. Very, very unbelievable. Nigeria sits third in that Group C with 11 points after 8 matches, 6 points behind group leader South Africa and 3 points behind the second place Benin Republic. But with 11 points, Super Eagles are still mathematically in the race for the 2026 World Cup. Gentlemen, yes, let me start with Similolua. You heard Mikel Obi there. In fact, with what he said, I was online a few days ago. There were those who also criticized him too. That what exactly does it mean that the board of the NFF should go? Is it the board that will play for them? Is it the board that will tell them to be a missing chance? Is it the board that will galvanize the team when they have the coaches? Or if you say the NFF should go because we don't have a capable technical crew or a capable coach, then that may be understandable. But in this case, they say maybe Mikel, does not eat it right there. What are your thoughts?
For me, I think both arguments are valid. From Mikel's side, it is valid that the NFF board should be completely overhauled. And also from those who are questioning Mikel also, they are also valid, because what does the NFF have to do? From the NFF's point of view, they brought in Pizarro. He got us to the AFCON final, but he was the one that started this trend of us, missing out in the World Cup, because he drew against Lesotho right there at Uyo. He held Lesotho. He drew at Uyo first match. Drew the second game also. Got 2 points in 2 games that he managed. We brought in Finidi George thinking that maybe a local coach can get it done, and he came out to tell us that he has no tactics or he does not believe in formation. Got us 1 point in 2 games likewise, and finally they brought Chelsea. So from their own point of view, they've been able to change coaches as it sees fit. Immediately this one does not work, they change and bring another person. So it is not their fault that whoever they've been bringing in do not in any way get the results done. For Eric Chelsea, we can say he has gotten some results. 7 points out of a possible 9 points, still the best out of the 2 or out of the 3 that we've had so far. Unfortunately, he was not brought in quite early. So from those people who are questioning Mikel, yes, they are right. But on the other hand, the NFF also for Mikel should actually be overhauled, because this is the second World Cup that will be missing out, and this is even the worst. If you look at the last 2 that we missed out on 2006, I think it was by points.
Yeah.
To
Ghana.
Head to head.
Yeah, but to Ghana.
2006 was head to head
2006 was head to head
against Angola.
Yeah, 2022 also maybe points or head to head likewise.
Away go
to Ghana.
Away go to Ghana. And they were formidable teams or countries that we met there. Ghana is a very, prominent rival of ours. But now in this particular one, having increased the number of countries to represent Africa to 9 teams, possibly 10.
Yeah.
And the African champion, the best team in Africa, the giant of Africa, is nowhere to be found. So the NFF actually are getting something wrong, because if you can miss 2 consecutive World Cup, appearance, then there is something clearly wrong with the management itself. And we've had issues. Talk about match bonuses, talk about preparations, talk about friendlies, talk about identity of the team itself. What is the NFF trying to portray as the culture of the Super Eagles? You look at the South African teams, they have a culture. And a funny fact is about 10 of their first 11 players were not even available for the game against Lesotho and Nigeria, and still they were able to pick players from the league that are similar to those first team players, and they still got a win against Lesotho and frustrated Nigeria to withdraw. So clearly there's something wrong with the NFF, and at the same time you can see the NFF have done their bit. It did not just work out.
The NFF has done their bit. It did not just work out. Coach Musa Ibrahim, what are your thoughts on this matter, especially concerning what Mikel said?
Yeah, I will blame NFF board. I'll tell you the reason. I'll blame the players themselves.
Okay.
I also blame the coach himself, because to some extent,
this coach,
yeah, he has a blame too. I think he will take part of the blame. Let me start from the NFF board. I cannot imagine.
Maybe this coach played 3 games. He won 2. He drew 1.
Is it 3 games?
Yes.
Are you sure it's 3?
No.
Yes.
The only one he lost was a friendly.
Yeah.
I don't think
He won the
he has
Unity
not lost
Cup.
a game.
He drew 1. He won 2. He drew 1.
Where? Let me even start from the coach.
So out of 3, out of possible 9, like you said, he got 7 points.
He drew against
South Africa.
No, Zimbabwe. That was very, very painful.
Okay.
One which he shouldn't have drawn against Zimbabwe. I mean, to his own credit, to the coach's credit, he has passed. But he carried over a lot of load that he has to. We are expecting so much from him. So I didn't expect that draw against Zimbabwe, although he did very well against Rwanda, home and away in the World Cup race. I remember Rwanda defeated us, I think, in the Nations Cup AFCON qualifying. So, and it's the only Rwanda that has beaten South Africa so far in this qualifying race for the World Cup in 2026. So now, back to the NFF board.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine countries like Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, or which other country, especially most North African countries, Egypt. They will never accept those kind of fixtures. You have 3 teams in your group.
Already Tunisia and Morocco are qualified.
No. I mean, the scenario in our group.
I'm just saying yes.
Yes. You have Zimbabwe playing in South Africa. You have Lesotho playing also in South Africa. You have South Africa in our group.
But that should not be.
You understand? So, no, it's advantage South Africa. Huge advantage. Although we didn't even play our home role well, by drawing at home against Lesotho, against Zimbabwe, twice against Zimbabwe, we do. Even against South Africa, we played a 1-1 draw. Yes. Yeah, to you, that's even understandable. Like when we were playing that match against South Africa, people that were complaining, Nigeria should have played, should have scored. I said this match is. We are watching it according to how it should be played. This match normally should be very tough for Nigeria, but we drop points where we're not supposed to drop points. You understand? Then we allowed South Africa. FIFA or CAF allowed Tunisia, Lesotho, and Zimbabwe to be playing in South Africa, which is a huge advantage to South Africans because they are more or less like playing home away from home. They will definitely have advantage, which they did. That's about 12 points, cheap 12 points. Then the players themselves did not impress. They played against Benin Republic on a neutral ground. They lost. The only reasonable performance from them was the last game against South Africa. By my own, my own opinion, that was the best match they have played so far in this qualifying. That match, they ought to have won that match, but what will be. Yeah. But against Benin Republic, they played in Cote d'Ivoire, neutral ground. They failed to win that match. And the worst thing is that they even lost the match completely. And they should have done better. I remember last Saturday, I was saying a good team, even without a coach, should beat a team like Rwanda, should beat a team like Lesotho or Zimbabwe. So it's not about coach all the time. If you remember when we were playing Rwanda, at some point or at a point, Victor Osimhen became a coach. You understand? He was dishing out instructions, almost all the players. So that means the players too, they can help themselves. Fine, you have to respect the coach, but it's not in all the games. You have to expect that the coach must do everything.
In this case, should Nigeria fail to qualify for the World Cup, which you also agree that it will be very terrible because we're missing back-to-back now.
Exactly.
Are you going to share the blame across the board, the NFF, the coaches, and the players? So how exactly are you going to...
Asking the entire board to resign. This is Africa. Mostly sub-Saharan Africa, it will not work.
Okay, we are not possible. We are only trying to look into the future. It might not, but what exactly do you think should be done?
The problem I have now is that even our Chinese are not giving us mouth. You understand? They are not getting.
So how are you going to fix
normally, I would have said they should also look inward here for best player. Although our selection, when you look at the selections towards every CHAN tournament, is always faulty. There's one or two things always going wrong, either bias selection or you are not selecting the best players. in the league. He just pointed at South Africans, about 10 regular players missing. They still went back to their league. It's not that our league is so bad. It's about getting the right personnel to put on the field. Then who are the scouts? Maybe we don't have good scouts, but the coaches, the local coaches, they know themselves. If only they will be able to listen to themselves. I know this guy is better in attack. I know this guy is better in midfield. The NFF too should have their own scouts. Those that will not be biased to fish out the talents in our league. Okay. Even they should go down to NNL in some cases.
Okay, so you are saying that
they should look inward. They should
the
look
NFF
inward.
should
Yeah,
look inward.
they should look inward.
All right. Damilola, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I don't buy the idea of overhauling the entire backroom staff.
Okay.
At times, you might need to do that. You understand? But let's focus on what is happening on the field of play, which is you're playing against Rwanda, Lesotho.
Yeah.
The last match, Nigeria won by 1 goal to 0.
Yeah.
That is embarrassing to say the least. England changed managers. They brought in Thomas Tuchel for Gareth Southgate. And since Tuchel has taken over, he's been winning.
Yeah.
It's not
But
impressive.
it's not impressive. It's more or less like they are struggling to stamp their authority on games, and it's only this last match that they scored 5 against, and that was surprising because they were playing away from home.
Yeah.
But the other matches they've played, it's been 1-0, 2-0. I mean, they've
And
not
they
conceded,
struggled
and
to
they are always
struggle.
struggling. So, like, you are playing Rwanda, Lesotho. I'm sorry, with all due respect, Nigeria is winning by in your own backyard. The players need to talk to themselves. I mean, there was I read one interview of Scolari, and when he was in charge of Brazil at one time, he said when he looked at his dressing room, he couldn't even pass instructions to them. He just said, look, go on the field of play, do what you know how to do best, and when it's time for me to give instructions, I will give instructions. You can't do that with this Nigerian team right now. These players feel too big at times. I watched their game, and after like 15 minutes, I switch off because look, you're playing like secondary school kids. Selfish game. You want to make headlines for yourself. The headlines you could not make at your club. You come to the national team. The free kick you were not taking at club level. You come to the national team. You say you want to take free kicks. You want to take penalties. I mean, it starts with the players. Forget about the coach in charge. Forget about the board of organizers or whatever.
But if you please pardon me to interrupt that train of thought. If you say that it starts with the players and we should forget about the coaches, the issue is they will tell you the coaches direct what happens on the field.
Is it the
dish
coach?
out
Is it the
instructions to
coach
the
that will
players.
tell you?
For instance, they have set piece takers. They have these things in place. So a player cannot just say, "I want to take the free kick."
In 2013, 2012, when Mikel was still in the national team, this same Mikel Obi, at Chelsea, he was never anywhere
He was
near.
But he was the coach.
When it comes to Nigeria,
I would say,
no, when
if
it
the
coach
coach did not permit him to do that, he
No.
would not do that.
No. You on the field of play and
you
swap.
take some decisions.
You can take if the player feels like, all right, there was a time Havertz joined Arsenal. Arsenal got a penalty against Bournemouth, and they let him take it because they wanted him to boost his confidence.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
It happened. The penalty taker can actually say, look, I let go of this set piece or whatever. So the players can actually
And that's what I'm
rotate.
saying, that only if they agree within themselves.
The
for another
players
person to
agree
take
within
it.
themselves.
They, they know who is the first.
It's always
penalty
not
taker
exactly,
or
but it's always
free kick
not
taker.
the coach
Yeah.
that would implement. Oh, the first penalty taker, the first set. No, or you can change it on the field of play depending on what happens. Like what I'm trying to say now is these players are to blame, whether we like it or not. You make
So
names for yourself abroad. You come home. We expect that as a team.
Number one, Damilola, you expect that even if we change or we continue to change coaches from now until tomorrow, nothing will happen.
It's not going to work.
Except that we agree that we are going to change these players.
It's not about
Actually,
changing.
not
It's
changing
not about
everything.
changing the
So
players.
what needs to be
It's
done?
about talking to them and making them
That's
know.
why I said we need to look
You
inward.
need to make them understand that look, this place is not guaranteed. look at the England national team. They switch players
anyhow.
You're not
Even Brazil
you're not a
this
guaranteed starter.
Yes, the
Luis
last time
Kelly- Luis Kelly-
Rodrigo, Vinicius,
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
not called. Militao.
Luis Kelly played 90 minutes first match for England. Second match, he was rotated. You understand what I mean? He was rotated. So
So what I mean is that most of the common sense decisions on the field does not have to be the coach. The players take those decisions based on common sense, based on some discretion amongst themselves. I mean, you can't expect the coach to tell you to start wasting time or not to waste time when there is a throw-in and you are losing by a long goal. You understand? It's less than 2 minutes to go. And you're expecting the first throw-in taker to come and take the throw-in.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's a lot of things on the field. There are some things the players must talk to themselves. They have to stop being arrogant, like he said. That's where I say we need to look inward, because it seems that the home-based players are more disciplined when it comes to that aspect. They listen to the coaches and they are more disciplined.
the thing is, you watch Nigeria these days, and you feel like when Nigeria takes the lead, you are almost in prayers as to God, please don't let them squander this lead. That's the situation of watching Nigerian games right now. You are actually not guaranteed that, okay, fine. And look, we say we have the under 23s, we have the under 17s, we have the we have the that. Now my question is, of these under 17s, the under 23s, how many of these players can actually say, in case of emergencies, we can actually call them to represent the national team? How many? You watch the England under 21 with the likes of Nwaneri, the likes of, Max Zoman and the likes. How many of those Nigerian under 21 players can you confidently say this player is not available, let's go to our under 21s? None. It's not about scouting in the national team, coach. The thing is, you say scouting in the Nigerian Premier Football League, and I put it to you today, if you were the coach, you don't need any scout for you to select players from the league itself before you start looking outside the league. Like, it's not about scouting all the time.
Yeah, but they show their leagues. I mean, it's very clear to the whole world.
Do you think it's all the matches that Thomas Tuchel has to go to?
No, as a coach, I understand. As a coach, you have to be able to know what is happening in your league.
Of course, you know what is happening.
But in Nigerian league, it's not everything they show. Even the ones they show, they are not very clear, like I said.
So the ones that he's entitled to are the ones that he goes to the stadium to watch.
Occasionally.
Apart from that, I don't think you have any footballing like station like we watch the Premier League, the La Liga and the likes. All those things are not in place anymore.
Gentlemen, the Super Eagles have 2 more matches to play, especially in the FIFA World Cup qualifying series. Nigeria will face Lesotho on the 6th of October, most probably in South Africa again. And Nigeria will be playing at home against Benin Republic, and like I said, most probably in Uyo. Whether we qualify for the World Cup or not, how best should we handle these 2 games?
I give up, because based on the second team ranking now, of which we are not even
if you say we should never give up,
no, we shouldn't give up.
Sometimes when you as a player, because even at the grassroots level, some of us play football, and in a situation like this that is very dire, and you already know that most probably
you will not qualify.
You just feel like, why would
I? They should not give up. Listen, up till our next match, against Lesotho, we still have hope based on the best losers qualification. I don't know who Benin is playing. I think it might be South Africa. You understand? So if up till our next match, if we beat Lesotho, you understand, we are boosting our chances of qualifying as a runner-up. Depending on what happens also with Benin, don't forget that we are still going to meet Benin in our last game. But if other results from other groups shows that no matter what happens, Nigeria will not even finish in the second position, because we already have 3 that have more points than us. Because we are going to end up with 17. So on that table I'm looking at, I've seen 18 points, I've seen 17 points. I've seen like 3 15s.
So should those ones,
11. Should those ones win just one match, That's it, because and it's only the top 4, right?
Yes, just 4.
That they are going to pick. So if at the end of the match against Lesotho we fail to win, we shouldn't waste our money bringing in the foreign-based players. Of course, they would have been around because it's 2 matches.
Yeah, 2 matches
under 1 week. So we should still play with all seriousness, bearing in mind FIFA ranking. Don't forget, AFCON is coming too.
Yeah.
And although the fixtures the fixtures is not yet out, AFCON, I mean the groupings. So that will be also reckoned with, so that Nigeria will be seeded. So they should not take it for granted, unless if you want to help Benin Republic to qualify. Because Benin Republic coach is boasting that it's only Nigeria that can stop him. That he said he's sure of qualifying for the World Cup, hoping that he would take 3 points against South Africa, and what's their name? Another 3 points against Nigeria. So it's going to be difficult, but they should never give up. They should never, no matter what happens. I mean, you may start rebuilding. Maybe from there, you could even be back to some home-based players who fill in some gaps there for experience sake. But unfortunately, all the foreign-based players would have been around at that time.
Okay.
It's usually 2 matches when it comes to international
per window.
Yeah, per window.
Okay, so maybe we should just leave it like that. But of course, you mentioned the other time that the fixtures for the AFCON 2025 AFCON have not been released, but of course that has been released. I can tell you that Nigeria have been drawn in Group C of that one alongside Tunisia, Uganda and Tanzania. And I know that Nigeria will be looking forward to moving a step ahead of their next ahead of their past outing, where they finished 2nd in Ivory Coast. So this time around, Nigeria, according to NFF, will face Venezuela in an international friendly at Shell Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas, United States, on Friday, the 14th of November, and it's part of their build-up to the 2025 AFCON in Morocco. It's going to be staged at Houston, Texas, and of course, we'll see how the Super Eagles will fare. Venezuela has never beaten Nigeria. Hopefully, Nigeria continues that trend. Nigeria has always been beating Venezuela. It's going to be their 4th meeting with Venezuela, with Super Eagles holding a perfect record in that fixture.
3 out of 3.
Yeah, 3 out of 3.
But they were all 1-goal victories.
It doesn't matter. Nigeria has a perfect record against Venezuela. Like I said, Group C of the 2025 AFCON, the Super Eagles are in. They're going to be playing, all things being equal, Tanzania in their first game on the 23rd of December this year. And then the second match there will be against Tunisia on the 27th of December. And then we have Uganda against Nigeria on the 30th of December, making it the last group match for the 2025 AFCON for Nigeria. Okay, wishing the Super Eagles the very best. Nigeria's under-20 national football team, the Flying Eagles, will depart for Chile tomorrow as preparations intensify for the 2025 FIFA Under-20 World Cup. The team, currently in camp in Abuja, will set up a 2-week training base in Chile ahead of their Group D fixture against Norway on Monday, the 29th of this month. They are also drawn in the same group as Saudi Arabia and Colombia. Head coach Ali Zubair is expected to finalize his 21-man squad on Friday, the 19th of September. And we also understand that team officials have confirmed that several Euro-based players named in the final roster will join the delegation en route to South America. The Flying Eagles are now aiming to improve on their performance at the 2023 edition in Argentina, where they reached the quarterfinals. They are 7-time African champions, and they are beginning their campaign against Norway before facing Saudi Arabia and Colombia in the remaining group matches. So we're also wishing them the very best. Let's come back home to talk about the Nigeria Premier Football League. And we are going to start this way. We know match day 4 fixtures will start today, but gentlemen, I think we need to also talk about much more that are happening. Former Lobby Stars Vice Chairman Dominic Kelfa is in the news, and he has come out to deny allegations of financial impropriety at the club. He insists that the Benue State government is indebted to him, not that he owes them. And he said they are indebted to him to the tune of over 400 million naira. Kelfa said he never embezzled money while managing the Makurdi-based outfit, contrary to the claims contained in the State Forensic Audit report. In fact, he said When he returned to Lobby in 2022 under former Governor Samuel Otom, he explained that the system of funding under Otom was transparent with direct access to the Accountant General for match expenses and salaries. And according to him, the real difficulties began when the current governor, Hyacinth Aliyah, assumed office and changed the financial process. And one of the things he said concerning that was that during Aliyah's tenure, he only received funds for 14 matches out of the 57 the club played, including 10 FA Cup fixtures that cost about 6 million naira each. According to him, in his words, I quote him, "So, if I was only given money for 14 matches and I still managed to play 57, how can anyone say I embezzled money? I was borrowing money to run the club. I even owe so many people because of that. Even up till today, money for many of those matches has not been paid to me. How can they accuse me of embezzlement? It is just an attempt to destroy my name. Look at what happened to them. In the second round," he was referring to last season, "they played 19 matches and won only one. Even that one, they had to beg insurance to let them win. Out of 38 points available, they got just 6. That is the worst record ever." So those were the words of Dominic Alpha, the former vice chairman of Lobby Stars. Remember, we talked about how Benue State government had to disband the management of the team because of misappropriation, alleged misappropriation. And now the man is coming to excuse himself, because I think at that time he was the one that was he was the main target. Though there were about 3 vice chairmen, but I think they said at the time he was the vice chairman, level of misappropriation. And now he has come out to defend himself, saying that the state even holds him. And now he has come out to defend himself, saying that the state even holds him to the tune of 400 million naira.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
100 million naira.
Wow, that's unbelievable. I'm not saying he's lying, and I'm not saying he's saying the truth. But I'm not saying he's lying, and I'm not saying he's saying the truth. But evidences to that claim.
Yeah.
Because for him to have been sponsoring the team, he claims that he was borrowing money, which could be valid as well. But it's not easy to execute games. I mean, out of 57 matches, I tell you remove.
He got money. He got money for
41 matches, and that's a lot when you consider the transportation, accommodation, and bonuses, allowances, and the likes. So, but I mean, that's why you have lawyers. One of the reasons Shooting Stars could not finish in the top 3 till the season ended, and Shooting Stars dropped